Ladies and gentlemen, earlier on today I said it's only a matter of time before Democrats or liberals or President Obama's administration, theoretically, you'd think that they would be against John Bolton. I said it was only a matter of time before they defended John Bolton. This is just today. And Samantha Power has been accused of unmasking hundreds of names, even more names than Susan Rice, in an effort to undermine President Trump's administration before he was even elected, or while he was president-elect. But here, Trump's firing of John Bolton shows a deeper problem, says former UN Ambassador Samantha Power. Oh my goodness, in an exclusive, this is Yahoo Finance, in an exclusive interview on Tuesday, former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Samantha Power, sharply criticized President Trump's ouster of National Security Advisor John Bolton, saying the dismissal indicates an unsteady administration, and the dispute over the termination's details exemplifies, quote, a deeper problem of public trust. First of all, Bolton was kicked out the door, hit the road, Jack, don't you come back no more. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Don't call us, we'll call you. Nobody liked Bolton. Nobody liked him. Trump never... See, people don't understand Trump. You know, I think Tulsi Gabbard is fantastic, but, you know, today she tweeted something. Tulsi Gabbard is great. She has a wonderful anti-interventionist foreign policy. She's also really great. But she tweeted something today. Oh, well, if Trump was serious, he wouldn't have hired Bolton to begin with. No, I disagree. Bolton was hired specifically as a kind of threat, a kind of public relations. In a way, it was a public relations kind of ploy, saying, hey, you know what? I'm an anti-interventionist president. I don't want to send Americans abroad. I don't want to do this. But as we're negotiating, pick the adversary, I have a guy who looks like a homeless walrus who's ready to rock and roll and completely, rearrange the map of whatever country you want. He is a Bush-era type of neoconservative interventionist, just topple the leadership in power and just try to start all over again like both Bush and Obama tried. So... But Bolton was the type of person he probably gave, well, that's what Trump said. He gave advice that he didn't like, but he was there only as this canine on a chain, this kind of threatening presence that would kind of like good cop, bad cop. Like, here's my attack dog. Do you really want to mess with him? Otherwise, do business with me. Trump had that was a long-winded point, but that Trump had no reason to really want Bolton's advice. He probably never even liked Bolton to begin with. He never really cared about Bolton's thought process. And people don't get that was just pure public relations. So you have a member of President Obama's administration who, by the way, is not only disparaging this. You would think that his ouster would be. You would think that it would be good for. It would be good for Democrats, less hawkish. Hopefully, Trump would find someone less hawkish, even though he's the first president to step foot in North Korea. But instead, Democrats are piling on. Anything Trump does, they're against. Even something that's on the face of it, like this is a great thing. Absolutely nobody liked Bolton. Absolutely no one liked Bolton. And it's just unbelievable. So let's just read really quickly. Here, just really quickly. So Power said, we even see in the form of his firing/resignation occurred a deeper problem which nobody knows, which is nobody knows what's true anymore. What? Trump said I fire him. No, actually, I resigned or tried to resign. When America's word is contested, when it's questioned, that's not good for our national security. What are you talking about, America's word? Samantha Power could only dream of being in an administration where the president stepped foot in North Korea, began a process of détente. This was a paradigm-changing moment. Didn't happen under President Obama. Oh, that's right. Was Samantha Power there when Libya was absolutely destroyed by a failed NATO intervention? I mean, and also, one thing, Samantha Power promised, and President Trump should do this, but this was a promise from President Obama and Samantha Power in a video to acknowledge the Armenian genocide. And that was an actual promise that, of course, President Obama and Samantha Power did not uphold. Now, I believe that Trump should acknowledge this as well. Okay? He should. But that was just one of many promises. And she wrote a book, on the topic. And she still just went against her word. So let's get to Samantha Power. Unmasker-in-Chief Samantha Power spewed anti-Trump bias in government emails. John Solomon. Former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Samantha Power, may share an unflattering stage with a text-loving FBI agent and his Donald Trump-hating paramour from the Bureau. Fired agent Peter Strzok and ex-FBI lawyer Lisa Page are infamous for texting on their cell phones. Okay, so it turns out that Power, the diplomat whose authority inexplicably was used to unmask hundreds of American names in secret intelligence reports during the 2016 election, engaged in similar Trump bashing on her official government email, according to documents unearthed today by the American Center for Law and Justice. So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where you have a person who's now piling on and trying to disparage President Trump, who, by the way, just happened to write anti-Trump emails. Isn't that interesting? And who just unmasked names not for the purpose of national security, but for the purpose of trying to further the now debunked Trump-Russia collusion narrative. Okay, so here we go. The discovery could add a new dimension, a question of political bias, to a long-standing congressional investigation to why. Okay, so this is John Durham. So John Durham knows exactly why. Samantha Power is not only against this firing of Bolton, but also why she, in the first place, why she went ahead and unmasked names. Let's read this. This is from John Solomon of The Hill. Power's barbs towards Trump started out as early as the GOP primary, when she used her email to connect Oscar Eustis, the artistic director at the Public Theater in New York, with oft-quoted think tank scholar Norman Ornstein. The memo show. Okay, Oscar Norm will explain our political system in the way that will fleetingly make it seem irrational, though maybe not after Trump and Sanders win New Hampshire. Ha ha ha! She kept on Bernie also. So this is while they're cheating Bernie Sanders. She's also going after Trump. So I always told people on the left, I said, Democrats, their biggest mission is not even getting Trump. It was getting Bernie out of the way, which they did. They cheated, then they blamed Russia, and Bernie was okay with it, and so are people today. And check out my segment prior to this one. That just proves that not only Clinton will run again, that she will lose again, and there might even be a Clinton 2024. Put it this way. She'll lose again in 2020. Clinton will run and lose again, and it'll be like, just a lot of people will be like, well, I guess we can try again in 2024. They went after Bernie Sanders while at the same time going after Trump. That pretty much tells you what Samantha Power, her thought process is basically a microcosm of the Democratic Party. So she was like, oh, it's completely irrational. Trump and Sanders win New Hampshire. After Trump stunned the world, and I mean, Bernie became a human doormat. It's not like he's going to... It's people like Samantha Power who tried to undermine Trump by unmasking names. And this just gave more fuel to the fire. Maybe there might not have been a specific name, or there might have. But the more activity, the more bureaucratic activity, that was utilized against Trump, the more that the machine went after him. So, here we go. There's a released documents that Power responded to Chastise Senator using such political... But there is ample evidence she engaged in similar Trump bashing in December 2016. For example, when a news story about Trump's effort to communicate with a new policy direction for the UN... Power snarkily replied, "This reflects a lack of understanding of history." Really? Okay. I would love to hear Samantha Power's analysis of how the Obama administration, how its foreign policy brought peace to Libya, or any of the other countries that Obama's military interventions failed. It's interesting that President Obama was supposed to be the antithesis of Bush, and in many ways, actually in a great number of ways, he just increased, or he just continued Bush's foreign policy. When Trump announced his intent to withdraw the U.S. from a global climate deal, Power emailed a colleague, "Lord help us all. Oh, Lord help us all. Please, Samantha Power, tell us more. Tell us about how President Obama was the president that presided over the largest expansion of domestic oil and gas production. So when we were number one in oil production, last year, President Obama said, 'That was me, people. That was me.' Lord help us all." It's like, my God. And when I was on the left, I'm like, wow, this person, I bought her book and everything. I was like, wow, this person really understands what's going on. She becomes the same type of left-leaning, liberal bureaucrat that actually didn't like Bernie Sanders either. So there you go. When Jorge Ramos, a news anchor, So Power suggested anguish at seeing Democrats lose the election was receding the more she watched Trump in action. "If we do something, we will make it good." So, let's see, here we go. Power and her staff spent time brainstorming a possible CBS 60 Minutes interview as Trump transition period began. The idea was to parlay Power's remark at an upcoming citizenship event. So she was working on... and I wonder if also I'm not even going to say the name of the country, because then if you say the name of the country, it's a big problem. But she was working on, perhaps, this was $500 million. $500 million President Obama spent on 4 or 5 insurgents in a country we had never sent soldiers to, and in a country where... okay, here it is. Clinton wanted a no-fly zone above Damascus. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so Obama, New York Post, 500 million. Okay, so Obama administration ends efforts to train insurgents. Okay. Here, this is the New York Post. Gee, I wonder what Samantha Power, in addition to Libya, would think. Team Obama has spent, and I'm not joking I'm reading this, Jonah Goldberg, New York Post. Team Obama has spent $500 million to train 4 or 5, rebels. Team Obama spent $500 million. 4 or 5. The news that the Obama administration had spent $500 million to put 4 or 5 fighters on the ground, really, adds an almost comic irony to what is ultimately a tragic farce. Really, This is what wonderful foreign policy. What amazing foreign policy under President Obama's leadership. What amazing foreign policy. From Libya to this country to, 100,000? The surge was up to 100,000 American soldiers. And now it's, let's defend John Bolton. It's like there's no value system. It's only pure politics. Just get Trump any means possible. Get Trump by any means possible. John Durham knows exactly why Samantha Power opposes the removal of John Durham knows exactly why Samantha Power opposes the removal of Bolton, because it is just yet another. Durham is finding intent. He's finding, well, what's the motivation? All of these people couldn't stand Trump, so they set him up. That's the U.S. Code, 18 U.S. Code 371. Now, Samantha Power, with the unmasking of names, nobody has really asked her. Maybe John Durham will. Hopefully he will. But this was, I think the unmasking was more an example of just trying to churn and trying to just utilize the United States government any way possible just to make Trump look bad, to justify McCabe, Comey, Strzok, Clapper, to justify them unfairly fabricating an investigation into Trump. But give me your thoughts below. It's just unbelievable. Give me your thoughts below. It's like they don't realize that Durham is looking at 18 U.S. Code 371. They don't realize that I write in the Federalist that there is a statute that they try to utilize against Trump that's going to be utilized against them. Give me your thoughts. Thank you so very much. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. It's below in the pinned comment. Elizabeth Warren is unelectable because of favorability ratings, and I explain. Give me your thoughts. Thank you.